Hello friends, my name is Bahroz and welcome to my channel where I share with you tips, tricks that I read, learn and apply in order to become my best version. Now in this video, I will share with you a coaching session that I recorded with one of my followers. Now, many of you know that this is my passion to teach, coach and mentor people. Now I get to play this on daily basis at my workplace by coaching, mentoring and advising my colleagues and other professionals in my workplace. However, the purpose of this channel is to expand that passion further, where I can connect with people outside my workplace and get a chance to understand what challenges they are going through and then try to help them and solve for their challenges, which is again to teach them, coach them and mentor. So the purpose of this recorded coaching session is to help prepare this particular individual to ace the Procter & Gamble interview for which he is due to appear. Now, without further ado, let me share with you that coaching session.
What I do is kind of my passion. This is not my day job. I like teaching, coaching, and mentoring people. It's just something which gives me a lot of passion, and hence I started doing this YouTube thing. And when I get responses, when I connect with people, I enjoy more. And I thought it would be nice if you have any questions which I can help with. And then others who follow can take the same answers and can benefit from it. It will just help my cause. So that would be helpful. Anyways, tell me, how can I help?
So, I reached. I have three interviews. One was the elimination round, which was actually a technical screening. And now I had my 1 hour initial interview, and I still haven't got any response for my final 1 hour interview. So in my initial interview of an hour, what happened actually, I was able to answer everything, but I think I was not that proper with the car format, and they were they wanted me to explain a bit everything. So whatever I was saying, they had questions to it. They because probably it was not clear to them what I was saying.
And this is for the car, the screening interview, or it was a full 1 hour interview for which you got this feedback?
I did not receive any feedback, but okay. I figured it out while they were talking to me, because with every answer I was telling them, they were actually asking me more questions about it.
Okay. And this was when, for your screening interview or for the 1 hour interview, or both?
1 hour. And in the screening interview specifically, the interviewer told me and that you'll be expected to give your answer in car format. So please work on it.
So that's why you feel, because you got this feedback in the screening, and then in the long format interview they were probing you more, so you got this impression that maybe there's something wrong with how you are using the car format.
Yeah.
Okay. How about we take an example? So if you know any question that you've most well prepared, and if you can just share with me how you would answer it, and then I can tell you maybe if there is any room to improve, or maybe that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So I'll give you I'll just take any example like you mentioned in your videos. If I have 7-8 examples of the work I do, it probably works with all the questions. So let's just take a question about a time when you took charge of a project that resulted in cost or time.
Okay.
So how I will answer is so starting with context. When I started working at my current company, I was given a project that was set up by someone else, but it was having a very high CPA, where I was not making any profit and also not any losses. So I had no margin with it, and I was given the task to actually reduce the CPA and have more conversions. So what my actions were to that is, I looked at how the campaign is set up, I looked at, so it was a retargeting campaign. So I checked out what pages, what website pages are being retargeted, and likely I removed any pages that don't necessarily mean that the user who is coming on the website is actually interested in the offering. I reduced some of those pages, and also I so the geo targeting actually was just Toronto, and like I increased it to Greater Toronto area, and likely because I tweaked the strategy a bit, and removed other retargeting like the retargeting pages. So my result was actually like I was able to bring down the CPA 3 times.
Okay. So here are very general tips. The example is very great, and it's a very simple example. So I like when examples are not complex, and the reason I like them is because the interviewer can understand easily. So one is, remember, there is this thing one of my managers taught me, which is called the grandma approach. The way you explain it, assume that you're sitting in front of your grandma and you have to help her understand. You won't just start with the CPA was. You'll even go to the extent of explaining what the campaign was. So the campaign was about selling what. I don't know what you were selling. I don't know what business you are in. So you didn't give me all that context, right? And this does two things. One, it makes it very boring because you didn't give me the story behind the context itself, which is the story is, and I'll try to make an example. So there was this brand that we were working on, and the brand was, let's say, Head and Shoulders. And the team was working on Head and Shoulders campaign, where the campaign was about anti-dandruff in winters. And they were running some digital marketing ads, and they were running ads on, let's say, I don't know, Facebook. Now I'm giving more and more context, like I'm giving a story. And the Facebook ads that they were running had a very high CPA, and it wasn't. And the reason it had very high CPA because it wasn't converting, and we were investing high. Now I told you about Head and Shoulders, about winters, about dandruff. So there's the story. And now I'm interested to know what happens to Head and Shoulders in winters and dandruff with anti-dandruff campaign. Versus just saying there's a campaign, the CPA is low, and I fixed it. This is boring. So one, this is boring. Second, you have to do it, telling the story to your grandma. So think about it, this interviewer, and the idea for doing this is the fact that interviewer may have no clue. There could be a chance that there's a finance guy who's taking your interview, or someone like me who didn't know anything about what you're saying. So this is one. This is about the context. Grandma rule. Second is the actions. Try to say the actions in bullet format. The best way to do it, which is a bit hard, I find it hard. There are people who can do it better. But the best way to do it is say, so I did 3 things. So when you say 3 things, this guy who's taking your interview, he starts taking notes. Because what he will do is he'll write 1, 2, and 3. And he has to write 3 things in front of it for your example, because you told him, I'm going to give you 3 things. The challenge with this is that if you're very clear in your head that there are really 3 things that you did for your example, beautiful. You say, I did 3 things. I increased the geo-targeting, 1, which helped this. I changed the demographics from older guys to younger guys, which improved this. And I moved from Facebook marketing to Instagram marketing, and it did this. Now, suddenly it is very clear, and the guy is also not trying, because what is the person doing? He's trying to take notes, and he's trying to understand from whatever you're saying, the key things that are important for him to write down. Because what will happen is once he's written down this stuff, he will go and connect with the guy who has taken your interview after him or before him. And they will all sit together and they say, okay, this guy in or out? So they'll say, no, he's in. But then they'll say, how should we score him? So this question about jumping in a team and trying to fix something, he told me that he did 3 things. He improved geo-targeting, he did this and this. I think these are good strategies, and I was very clear in what he did. And the other guy will kind of confirm that, oh, he gave me the same examples, or maybe he gave me a different example where he did two different things. And wow. So the idea is, if the interviewer goes in the room and says, oh, I don't remember what he told me about this question. You know what? I forgot. I've written, but I can't even read my own handwriting. Your interview is gone. So if he can't read, even if he can't read his own handwriting, you're dead. So you need to make it so easy for him that he can take those notes and then remember when he opens them after a week's time.
Okay.
Cool. If it's clear, let me know. If not clear, ask questions.
No, like it's clear. So I did say like right now I didn't say programmatic retargeting campaign. I actually did not say like what the product was and everything because um, like when I got the email of this like meeting, I had the interview. Like it mentioned that please let us know if there's any like competitors of us you have worked with, or like you don't have to necessarily like take specific names of the projects you have worked on. So I just thought like it's better off if I don't take like names of the brands.
Frankly speaking, nothing. As in you don't have a, let's say I'm working for Head and Shoulders, you're working for Sunsilk or Clinique All Clear or the competition. Frankly speaking, at your level, at my level, we can't change the destinies of the company, even if you tell me like 3 things that you're doing, unless it's like you're taking a price cut and you're about to take a 10% price cut. But a small campaign you ran here and there, how did you improve the CPA? It really doesn't matter. I would rather give the name of the or even if you're challenged and you don't just feel right saying it, just call it brand X or just give it some name. Like, tell a story. The idea is, if you give facts are boring. If you tell a story, so resume. What is a resume? Resume is facts. I did this. But what is the story? The story is about you. I don't know if you've checked out the video I have, and maybe now I'm slightly taking it in a different direction, but I just want to make a point. The video I have on how to introduce yourself, I have it on the channel as well. And there I stress the point on that you need to tell a story. When you start telling a story, you make it interesting. So this is one. Secondly, you also mentioned that they were probing. At times, probing is a good sign in a way that it means 2 things, or maybe 3 things. One is they think that you're lying and you're making up and they're probing. But in that case, they will probe once or twice and then they would give up and they'll say, the guy is a cheater, he's just making up stuff. Or they'll call you out by saying, no, you're wrong. I think you'll figure it out if they really don't trust you, and that's why they're asking the question. The second reason they're asking probing questions is because they are not clear, but they want to help you. So they really like you, and they want to make sure that you say those 2-3 things, which if you say, they will hire you. So it's kind of a good sign, but not a great sign, because as I think you are in this camp, which is I need to do better so they don't have to ask me more questions. So I know they like me, but I can do better so they don't ask me the questions, and I'm very clear. And third is usually when it's a very fresh guy who's recently been hired by a P&G or has been in the company for 1 or 2 years or recently started taking interviews, they kind of follow a format. This is the question I have to ask, and then after this question, I have to ask these 2-3 probing questions. They have like this worksheet in front of them, and they follow it by dot. So net, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's a very big deal that they're asking probing questions, but try to give a story and answer in bullets. The bullets, as I said, and maybe I'm repeating myself, will help them take notes. And these are the notes which they will use to sell you in front of the other guy or in front of the hiring manager by saying, the guy was great. And they'll go like, okay, what did he say that he was great? And now they have very concrete points in front of them and they can talk in those bullets. But if you go like without giving pauses and breaks and bullets, they'll be like, I don't know what he said. I picked 1 or 2 things from what he said, but the other things were not clear and I was confused, and you're gone. Helpful?
Yes.
Cool. What else?
No, like you were saying something and I just I got in between.
So tell me what wasn't clear, I can repeat.
No, like everything is clear. And like I mentioned that like at the very start of the interview, I actually told them that like like I've worked on the I've worked on answering uh, answering of like what I'll say in car format, but like I won't be like I might not be that great. So please I'm sorry about it.
Don't say
I
that.
mentioned this in the interview.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
I was
See,
like,
yeah. So go ahead.
I first it's my first time like giving an interview like for like a big brand like P&G, and like I've not like gone through such an extensive process before, so I was just a bit nervous, and like because the guy in my screening interview told me specifically that like you should follow the car format, so I just thought that like it would be better if I just if I'll just be upfront about it, that like I'll try my best, but like if I'm not up to the mark, please don't mind it.
Yeah, as in I see. I like when people are humble. This is good. Like it's okay if you go in the interview and say I'm nervous, and but I won't go in the detail of trying to say it's the car format or this one. Like they'll go like, okay, you know the car format, and it's very simple. It's like ABC. If you can't do that right, and if you know it and you can't do that right, should I really hire you? But if you go in the interview and say, this is the first time I'm interviewing for a big company, but I'm really passionate about the company and all. I just want to call it out. I'm a bit nervous. But I'm here to give my best. So, but if you use your humbleness to get some mercy, which is don't be hard on me just because I'm new, it won't work. But if you want to play humbleness and say that you will do your best, like you are nervous, but you don't care, you're here and you will do your best today. That goes like, I get it. Like this guy is new, he's fresh grad, he's desperate to get this job, he's nervous. I was in the same place as well. And he's brave enough to call it out and brave enough to say that he will still rock the interview after this. So it's okay to be, what I'm saying is it's okay to be humble, but don't ask for mercy. Tell them that you are still, despite all the challenges, you'll still do your best. Make sense?
Yeah. And
like this will, by the way, this will serve the purpose you want to do, which is you want them to be nice to you, right? That's why you said it. And you want them to show some mercy, but don't call for mercy. Just say you'll do your best. And suddenly when they realize this guy's coming out, this guy is being vulnerable, they'll go like, oh, I like the guy already because he's such a sweet guy, just being vulnerable and not being an like a tough asshole, let's say. This is pretty good.
Like I actually said that in the very beginning of the interview because like I just did not want to like waste their time or something like that, because like there's this guy like who's been working with P&G for like 11 years, and then there was like someone in like the department I was interviewing for, and like she has been working there for like 2.5 years. So like just on their behalf, like I was like, I don't want to like waste these guys' time. So it's just better like if I just call it out and like they just know upfront that like I'll try my best, but like if I'm not perfect, please don't mind me.
No, don't. Anyways, I think I made my point clear. But no, you're not wasting anyone's time. They're looking for the best candidate, and you're not wasting their time. They want to make sure if you're the right candidate or not. And frankly speaking, at the end of the day, it's not about just being a best candidate. It's about being the right candidate for them at the moment. So you're wasting no one's time, by the way. And if they know, I've interviewed hundreds of people, and I would know in like first 10 minutes if this is not just going right and this is on a different tangent. If they're smart enough, they'll close the interview. They won't stretch it to 1 hour. So let them decide how they want to use their time. For you, you make use of that 1 hour and just go all guns blazing.
Okay. Yeah. Other than that, like they asked me like questions on all the peak factors, and like they were just asking me like one question from each peak factor, and because like I had to explain it a bit more, like after like I was done giving my example, and then yeah, just two situational questions,
Got it.
but it was good, yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So let me know what other you have any other questions, anything else on your mind which I can help with then.
Um, and like I've read the comments in your videos that and like you also have specifically mentioned this, that like there's no elimination round.
Yeah.
Like I'll do both the interviews, and then like they'll score me, and then like I'll get an answer if I'm like selected or not. So but like the guy like one of those interviewers like who was working there for like 11 years, he specifically said that like we'll let you know if you'll clear this round. Like we'll let you know if in a week or two.
No, that's not right. Unless it's the screening interview, that's an in and out. But once you've cleared the screening interview, you have to go through all the interviews before the decision is taken. There are people who think that as they're moving from one interview to the other interview, they've cleared the last interview. That's not the case. The guys need to. There will be three people. Let's say person A, B, C. Usually there are 3 1-hour format interviews. There could be 2 as well. There could be 4 as well. Standard is 3. Those 3 people will take your interviews at different point in time, or can even take it in panel. That's not the ideal case or not the standard case. They'll take the interview in different point in time, and then once they're done, they'll sit together and they'll agree on where you stand. So one, they'll agree 2 things. One, did you clear or not? Like, are you a fail or you've cleared? Once they say you failed, and if all 3 agree fail, there's no discussion, you just fail. If part of or half of them or some of them agree that you've passed and some say you failed, then they discuss, but it's usually a quick discussion to decide whether you failed or they can convince the other person to fail or success or not. But in any case, you are kind of a borderline. So in both cases, either you fail or you didn't fail, you passed, you may still not get the job because you didn't ace it. And then once if they've decided that you passed, then you say, okay, you passed, but how good you are. And then they score you on different peak performances. And if you score high versus everyone else, then you get hired. If you don't score high versus the others, then you passed, but you were not good enough versus the others, and hence that's why you didn't clear. Other than that, I think you may have gone through. Did you go through the video I have on situational questions as well? I recently posted.
Yeah.
That's an important one, and the reason it's important is because I've said it in the video as well, and the reason I'm saying it now is because situational questions are questions which will always come as a surprise to you versus the others. The others are very standard questions. Tell me about a time, blah, blah, tell me about this, blah, blah. And even if the questions are slightly different than what's in the format, you can still use all your examples to fit in somewhere because you've prepared your examples from peak standpoint and not prepared to answer a particular question. However, situational question can just go anywhere else. So I would urge you to check that out if you haven't. If you have good. Other than that, I talked about initially, check out how to introduce yourself. It is very critical. It is so critical. You have no idea. Like, you will set the tone of the interview when you just introduce yourself. So make sure you check that video out as well. I haven't had that part covered in the PNG videos, so most of the people miss it because I have a separate playlist and video for that. So check it out. And the last one is another one is the reverse interview questions, where they say, do you have any questions for us? These are usually 2 questions which are least prepared. Like, you would least prepare about introducing yourself or the reverse interview questions. You just kind of prepare them 5 minutes before the interview. I would urge you, they do make an impression. So if you get a chance, not if you get a chance, you do prepare for them as well. And if you get a chance, I have 2 videos on it where I kind of talk about how I think you can ace that. So yeah, that's all I had to say. So two things. Let me know whatever I just told you today was helpful. Second, do you agree? And third, if you have any other questions.
Yes, like I agree, and like I've seen most of your videos, so like I actually prepared my introduction, like incorporating those things,
Okay, cool.
and also at the very end, like when I was asking them questions, so like they answered it like very happily, and like they actually explained it um, in very detailed format. So like I was thinking that like they were actually like interested in answering those questions. So that's good. And like any questions? So I just have a like last question. So let's say in my final interview, if I just like use the same examples like I've used in my previous interview, but like you said, like I just frame it a bit better this time, like explaining it to a grandma. Like, does it affect my interview in any way? Like, if I use the same examples, or it's okay?
No, you can use the same examples. Rather, I urge you to use the same examples. It would be nice to throw in slightly different one or two examples, just so the interview is not completely monotonous. One, and second, you may have missed something in the first interview, which you go like, oh, this is another example which I can share. So it's just that, let's say the first interviewer has 3 new examples, the second interview has 2 new examples, and the last interviewer has 1 new example. So now there are in total 5 examples they will all talk about, which is good. The more examples, the better it is. So you can repeat the same, but you can still repeat them. I would say like 75% repetition, 25% newness would be nice. And yeah, obviously do better than what you did last time. That's the beauty of having like a couple of interviews where you can improve yourself, because what can happen is the first guy goes like, oh gosh, this was a failure, a disaster, and the last guy is like so impressed with you that he wants to hire you. So now that is kind of a good chance you have, which is now the last guy will sell in and make the pitch for you with the first guy and say, man, maybe he was just nervous, because when I interviewed him, he rocked. He just told me this, and he told me this and this and this. I think he was just nervous in your case, for which they are willing to give you a pass.
Okay.
Cool.
Like whatever the result is, like this was definitely a learning curve for me. So like I said, like I learned a lot throughout these interviews. Like I've never prepared so extensively for any interview like I did for this one. So it was just crazy. And like again, like your videos helped a lot. Most of the questions they asked were actually exactly the same from your videos.
That's nice.
So
that's nice.
That's very good. And yeah, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. So a couple of things. One is keep me posted. Let me know how your interview went. So this is one. Second is, if you have any other questions, just drop me a note on LinkedIn. I'm very responsive on LinkedIn. I'm there to help. And third, even if this doesn't work out, or even if this does work out, let's say even if this doesn't work out, you'll be still looking for moving into some other organization or some other career path. I'm there to help. As I said, this is my passion point. I love teaching, coaching, mentoring people. So you want to set up another session and say, man, that it didn't work out, but now this is some new company and I just want to improve on it. And can we have another practice session? Would love to have it. If you make it, congrats. Let's still stay in touch. I may be able to, like, if you need any coaching, any mentoring for your career in PNG, or for that matter, wherever you go, anytime, just ping me. We can have a 5-minute, 10-minute connect, 30-minute connect, whatever time allows for me and you, and just take it from there. So as I said, I love doing this. So let's stay in touch. Keep me posted. And man, best of luck.
Thank you so much for taking the call and like clearing this out. Like it has helped me like a lot.
Cool.
Definitely. And like the thing you are doing, it's like it's just something. It's like it's really good. And like on behalf of everyone, like I've seen it in the comments. I don't know like if you have had a call with like anyone before, but like I just want to say like thank you on on behalf like of all your subscribers and like of all the people
Thank you, man.
that have watched your video.
Thank you. This is exactly why I do this stuff, because I enjoy when people really find value out of it, and the word thank you just means a lot. So thank you to you, and thanks for allowing me to record this as well. So keep me posted, and let's stay in touch, man.
For sure. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully after this video, you were able to answer some of the questions that you had but did not know where to go and ask and inquire on them. Hopefully this was helpful and would enable you in your preparation for a Procter & Gamble interview. Thank you.